And I know that it's alarming, yeah. 'Cause time is running out, and we can't just stay and watch it, no. Oh, we dream about all things being alright, but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. Matter from now on. Let's
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
W.E.B. Du Bois talks about the double consciousness that exists in all Black people. So it's a duality that we struggle with as Black people in this country that consists of multiple identities that we have to take in order to blend in. It's the code switching on top of so many different layers, but it's also the fact that as Black people in this country, we have had to come to terms with truth that we can speak and truth that we cannot speak, realities that we know about this country that we keep our mouths shut on because, well, we have to blend in. There's so many ways that we do this to ourselves throughout every single year of our existence as Black people in this country. We're going to talk about that in great lengths today. But first, we're on the clock with Georgia Ford.
Welcome to On the Clock. I am independent journalist Georgia Ford. Thank you so much for joining us. President Biden passed a bill Thursday afternoon declaring Juneteenth a federal holiday. And this is significant because the federal government hasn't declared a holiday since 1983. The last holiday they acknowledged was Martin Luther King Day. And so now Juneteenth being a federal holiday, this is the 11th holiday that is acknowledged by the federal government. And of course, Juneteenth is celebrated on the 19th of June, which commemorates the end of slavery. Take a listen to Vice President Kamala Harris, who gives a little more history about why that day was so significant.
Let us also remember that day was not the end of slavery in America. The truth is, it would be 6 more months before the 13th Amendment was ratified, before enslaved people in the South and the North were free. So as we commemorate the history of Juneteenth, as we did just weeks ago with the history of the Tulsa Race Massacre, we must learn from our history, and we must teach our children our history.
And, you know, in listening to the vice president and even the president give these speeches before they sign the bills, I was kind of wondering, too, like, what else do they have planned outside of just acknowledging this day as a federal holiday? I want you guys to hear from President Joe Biden, who acknowledged that he was signing this bill on a very tragic anniversary.
Today also marks the 6th anniversary of the tragic deaths at Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, South Carolina. A killer, motivated by hate, intending to start a race war in South Carolina. He joined his victims in a Bible study class. Then he took their lives in a house of worship. It's a reminder that our work to root out hate never ends, because hate only hides. It never fully goes away, it hides. And when you breathe oxygen under that rock, it comes out. And that's what we must understand, that Juneteenth represents not only the commemoration of the end of slavery in America more than 150 years ago, but the ongoing work to have to bring true equity and racial justice into American society, which we can do. It calls for action today. I wish all Americans a happy Juneteenth.
You know, and I want to bring in our guest today, Dr. Stefan Lawrence, and independent journalist Jiccarra Hollman. You know, people have been expressing a variety of viewpoints on this. Some people very excited that we're finally getting this holiday, while others are saying, you know what, acknowledging this as a federal holiday is going to benefit white people more than it does the Black community. What were your thoughts when you first found out that Joe Biden was signing this bill to make Juneteenth a federal holiday?
My first thoughts were, I think it's always a good thing when people are acknowledged and celebrated, especially people who have historically been marginalized. I think that's always a good thing. I do think that the people who are crying out for action have a very solid point, that we have faced unique obstacles in this country's history. And now is the time for actionable change is what they're looking for. And so while this is a good step, I definitely understand the wanting to have something more tangible, if you will, that they can celebrate with themselves and their families to become a more welcome piece of the American fabric.
Absolutely, especially when you have the president acknowledging this deep-rooted hate. Like he referenced the fact that this bill was being signed on the anniversary of the attack at the church where Dylan Roof came in, acted like he was at a Bible study, and ended up killing 9 people. You know, and so for him to acknowledge that, and he also in his speech acknowledged the economic disparities, the wealth gap, the education gap, all of these things, but didn't really go into detail about what other bills or what other funds they're trying to create. Jiccarra, what were your thoughts on this being a bill? Did you feel like this is significant? It's a huge step forward, or did some people even calling this just kind of breadcrumbs?
I'm going to celebrate. I am going to celebrate because this is a step ahead to the change that we want to see, because first we need to acknowledge the Black history that is not being shared in our children's history books. Let's talk about Juneteenth. Let's talk about the true meaning of what Juneteenth means. So in order to do so, if we have it on the calendar, like it's there, it's visible. So you have to have some acknowledgement or recognition of this date. So I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to take this as a win. As small as we may see it, I'm going to take it for what it is and celebrate on Juneteenth as we do, because in the Black community, this is our Independence Day.
Absolutely. So how are you going to celebrate?
Actually, I am going to remodel my home, but then I'm going to get out to a barbecue and some community events, because I know that we are going to grill. I know that we're probably going to pop some fireworks, as well as have, some events at Black cultural centers like Black Table Arts here in Minneapolis and around the world. So I'm going to step out and enjoy the heat, the culture, and be amongst my people as we just rejoice in this day. This is our 4th of July. Let me say this. This is our Independence Day. So take it as you may. We're celebrating.
Dr. Lawrence?
Absolutely. I understand the celebration in Minnesota, but in Georgia, baby, it's going down now. It meant a little different in Georgia in the deep Dixie. So barbecues, Juneteenth themed, pop-up shops, culture, just culture. Supporting Black-owned businesses. I already got a beard product lady that I am going to connect with tomorrow. So I'm excited about it, and I agree with her. We are going to celebrate, and it's due time for that. It's due time.
Well, and I want to bring Ben in on this. As Juneteenth becomes a national holiday, educators actually may not be allowed to talk about the impact of racism in the classrooms, specifically in the state of Texas. This is the most recent case where the governor is doing what he can to outlaw educators from teaching systematic racism and critical race theory. And so, Jiccarra, to your point, while yes, we need to celebrate, this is huge. It is a step forward, but then it's like we're being minimized in the classroom. And I think that this is so important, because when you think about teaching systematic racism and critical race theory to the next generation, what this would equip them to do is to internalize that. And as they enter into their professions, whether it's banking, education, healthcare, they would be able to combat it because they would be aware of it. So Ben, when you look at like, okay, here's a step forward, but then the governor in Texas is banning critical race theory from being taught in schools. Is that a step backward?
Yeah, yes. All right. The long and short of it is yes. It is a step backwards because it is the tangible thing that we could do that would really let me start here. The oppressor never wants the history told by the oppressed. And they know the power of everything that you just outlined, Georgia. The fact that if people are made aware at an early enough age of the systems that they have been born into, then they could do something about it, even their own role in it. The thing that conservatives fear the most in this country is having a self-reflective child who has the ability to observe the world on their own accord and on the information that they learned that their parents didn't control. And this is why they're so terrified of critical race theory, because there will be knowledge of America being taught to their children in a way that they cannot control and manipulate. And that's what they really fear.
And Dr. Lawrence, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this because you're an educator, and maybe you can brief us on where you are exactly in your career. But as an educator, knowing critical race theory is a tool that could be given to kids to help end systematic racism, but so many people are against it. What has your experience been with critical race theory in the classrooms?
It's frustrating because as a scholar, well, I'll just start there. My doctorate is in educational leadership from the University of Georgia, and I'm currently the administrator of one of the most diverse and successful middle schools in the state of Georgia. We're the #1 ranked public community school, meaning that we don't have a magnet program or any type of recruiting mechanism. We teach what we have, and we've been very successful at it, and we're incredibly diverse. And it's frustrating anytime that tools to educate are removed from the hands of the educator. Educators, I've often said, are disseminators of truth, and that old adage is true, that the truth hurts. And critical race theory was actually part of my dissertation. It was one of my dissertation frameworks. And it is vital for the reasons that both of you have stated prior, that we not teach kids to hate, which is how the opponents of this view critical race theory. It's not a tool of hate. It's a tool of awareness. And it's hard for us to combat the things that normally everybody agrees with. People agree that there are disparities in wealth, that there are disparities in housing, that there are disparities in education, that there are disparities in the way we're treated by the law. However, it's almost like critical race theory makes them feel guilty about a part that they feel that they didn't play. But if you are ignorant to the way these institutions are lined up, then you are playing a party to us seeing them continue in our society. And so it's incredibly frustrating. There has been talk of that in my home state, not from the governor per se as signing it into law yet, but by school board recommendations and him kind of urging the school board to move in that direction. And I foresee a lot of pushback from people who not only want to make sure that we are on an equal footing racially, but just intellectually. How insulting is it for you to go to a professional who has a bachelor's, who has a master's, a specialist, a doctorate degree, and try to hamper their intellectual thought? Like, that has never worked in American history. That's never worked in world history. And so I don't think it'll work here. And I'm quite confused by these governors who are attempting to do that.
Jiccarra?
I honestly am not surprised. We're talking about Texas. Texas was one of the last Confederate states to become free. Texas was actually one of the states that still held their slaves for over 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. So it's just, them showing where they still stand, and that let us know the work that we still have to do in order to get the change that we want to see, in order to continue to progress forward. Yes, we are making forward progression, and yes, this did knock us backwards, and as we know in our community, we take one step forward and get knocked 2 to 10 steps backwards. But that means that we have to continue to fight. Activist Opal Lee, 93 years old, was sitting in that office amongst the Black Caucus, and she's been on this fight for 9 decades. And every step of the way, there have been laws in place and rules and regulations that have been put into place to keep this from happening, to keep this day that we see from coming into fruition. So it happened, and it just lets us know that we still have work to do and that the fight is not over yet.
Jiccarra, and I'm so happy that you brought up Opal Lee and all of her dedication and commitment to getting Juneteenth passed as a federal holiday. There was actually a lot of opposition. I think there was more than a dozen Republican lawmakers who voted against it. And so it reminded me when you brought up Opal Lee, like every community has a Opal Lee, a mother, a grandmother that we look to that keeps us rooted in our history, right? But for every Opal Lee, there's 12 Republican lawmakers or senators who are pushing against, who are resisting actively the change that our community is advocating for. And so here are all of the lawmakers who voted against making Juneteenth a holiday. And think about that. I mean, literally all we're saying is here's the day that slavery ended, that we should acknowledge it the same way that we acknowledge our country's independence.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they get on board with that? It doesn't cost them any money. It doesn't really change the framework of our country. And so it just boggles my mind that you have so many people who are actively resisting change that makes this country more equitable.
They don't want us to be free. They want to continue to confine us and keep us locked into their system. This is the systematic change that we need to see.
And change is tough anyway. You know, I remember trying to slip my grandmother a Hershey's cookies and cream bar, and she didn't want it. And you know, you look at the Hershey bar. What's their slogan? Unchanged since like 1888. Like people don't like change. Yeah. And so this has, but what people have to understand, and this is what I told someone I was having a spirited debate about the Confederate flag and wanted to uphold tradition. Like people aren't going for that anymore. Like you having an issue with change is only going to be detrimental to yourself because it is coming. And that's another inevitable staple of human history. Change will come. Change will come. And you know, even in Georgia, Atlanta's mayor just passed a bathroom bill about having unisex bathrooms throughout major public hubs like the airport or like State Farm Arena, so on and so forth. It's just, it's going to change. It's going to change as the world changes, as society changes. And you either, you know, it's like evolution. You either get aboard or you get deleted. So people have to embrace change. And I'm not saying that embracing change means abandoning your morals, but you have to learn that people are different, that you have to celebrate the differences within people, and you have to come to a understanding with love and a framework in your mind of I am trying to get it right as opposed to being right.
You know, Dr. Lawrence, and I'm listening to what you're saying, and I feel like that's exactly what they fear the most. They fear that level of change because they don't know what it looks like. I think in part of some of their minds, they really fear whether or not if this country ever became under the control of Black people, right? Or brown people, marginalized communities. If we ever really got power in this, that we would do to them what they did to us. That it is a bleak, dark future when you consider this future not being controlled by white Christian men, the standard power structure. What are your thoughts on this fear, and do you see it? And do you? What are your thoughts on it?
The fear definitely exists in any entity that has obtained power. Their number one fear is the loss of it. It's not death. It's not, it's not anything like that. It's the loss of power. You can look at the way 45 behaved when it was almost comical how much he did not want to accept the inevitable. And that's a classic example of when you are in power. It one of the beautiful things about this country is that it is set up, you know, for all their flaws of Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin and all of those guys. They did set this country up to where that didn't happen. The checks and balances, the Constitution is a incredibly impressive document. And so it is the loss of power that they fear. And what I see is that they are looking to foolishly try to control knowledge. I live in Columbus, Georgia, and it is just foolhardy to think that everybody is going to teach Christopher Columbus was a good guy.
Come on,
we are past that. Even in the city, like Columbus actually sailed up the Chattahoochee and visited this city, which is why it's named that. But we are past that. Information is too readily available to people for you to try to control their thought. And so when you look at Christopher Columbus actually wasn't the best guy. And we're never going back to the days of coloring in Pilgrim and Native American Thanksgiving pictures, and everybody was kumbaya and had dressing and cranberry sauce. Like those days are over. So trying to control this narrative is one of the most foolhardy undertakings I've ever seen. They could spend their energy in better places.
It makes me think about, what is the cost of that fear? The cost of the fear of losing power. The cost of that fear is our progress. You have a group of people who are trying to hold on to false narratives, which I think was the inception of fake news. You go back to Christopher Columbus. You have people who are trying to hold on, who are fighting tooth and nail and resisting every ounce of change. And the cost of their fear of losing power essentially is the progress of the Black community.
That fear that hinders and stifles progress, Georgia, I'm just processing what you said, because it goes to the point of self-destruction. It's not only that they will hinder progress, because you're absolutely right, but it goes to the point where they would not only destroy what's in their best interest, but what's in the best interest of their own children, what's in the best interest of humanity, all for the sake of that fear. Jiccarra, what do you think about that?
I just keep thinking that those Republicans are like that racist grandmother that you just can't change the way that they act, believe, and behave, because this is a ongoing mindset that keeps them thinking this way. So they want to block anything that changes that. So as they're still set in their ways, they don't want to give up power. They don't want to give up control. If they continue to allow us to make this forward movement, then they're afraid of where the Black community may go. They don't want to give us our 40 acres and a mill. You know, like we're not getting what is rightfully ours if they have anything to do with it. So I'm just like, okay, old white grandparent that just can't change the way that they think, believe, and behave.
Well, again, it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, George.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, like, it's not even old white grandmother. It's old people. Like it's just old people. Like my granddaddy used to say stuff he shouldn't have said. It's just old people. And what is important for us to understand here is that like I stated earlier, Aaron Cone Middle School is one of the most diverse middle schools in the area. I mean, I have low socioeconomic, high socioeconomic, Black, white, Hispanic, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, just smashed together. Kids don't see the world like this. And I think that is the innate fear, that it quite literally is the end of that way of thinking, because these children, they don't think like that. They don't think with hate. They think like, man, that's jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Me and this girl do the same work and I get paid 50 cents more than her. That ain't right. Like they think with empathy. And so I think it's that there is truly no future in it, because the platform that the opposition is running on is fueled with keeping things the way they are, but these kids don't want things the way they are. They want to have a mixed Thanksgiving and a mixed, go to school with their black friends and go to basketball games with their white friends, and for it to be no problem. Like, we're quite literally coming into the dream that Dr. King had, and it's frightening for people. It is, because your days of this Leave It to Beaver America are gone. We are moving into those neighborhoods. We are coming into those schools. We are shopping in those stores. We are making that type of money. And they fear this almost a Wakanda invasion. But they need to understand that, even like at the end of Black Panther, we realize that we have to be part of the world. And that's all we want, is to just our fair stake in it that others have enjoyed for centuries. That's really quite literally all we want. And it's mind-boggling that people are so afraid of us, putting our plate up to the buffet. We just want to eat too. It's okay.
They better be glad all we want is equality.
And that's all we want is to eat.
That's all we want. Yeah.
And a little equity sprinkled in. That's it. Just to make up for lost time.
I love it.
Ben.
I'm sorry. I thought you but just really quick to that point, the Wakanda point. It's not that we want to turn America into Wakanda. It's that y'all messed around and let all this vibranium into this country, and brought all this vibranium into this country. So when you said that, it really resonates with me, brother.
And as we wrap up here, now the federal government is actually scrambling to try to figure out how they're going to get everybody time off today or Monday, because it's a federal holiday now. And it's kind of weird that they didn't have that already in place as they were approaching making this into law. Are you guys taking today off? Are you guys taking Monday off? What do you plan to do for the long weekend?
I plan to do a reading on the meaning of Juneteenth. I'm excited about that.
I am not going to take Monday off because I have about 200 kids in summer school that need an administrator. So I won't take Monday off, but there will be a observation at my school of Juneteenth, meaning that it will be discussed. We'll have some features of it in lesson plans throughout the school, and we'll give our diverse population a chance. That's all kids want as well, is a chance to be heard and a chance to get out their feelings. And which is why what these certain governors are trying to do is so damaging, because it doesn't allow teachers to truly be, even going back to what the Bible says that a teacher should be, this guide, this spiritual voice that kind of helps you formulate what the world is like. So as long as I'm in education, that'll be done at my school. And the day the law tells me I can't, it'll be time to go to another state or find something else to do. But we got to keep doing that. So yeah, Juneteenth will be observed at my school.
It feels like, when I think about those lawmakers who voted against passing Juneteenth as a holiday, it's like they're acknowledging that this is a threat to their privilege. And really, we should be very aware that there are people in this country who do not want to reconcile with America's history, who do not want to give us anything despite all of the years of slavery, and that this nation was really founded on our labor. We have to be mindful of that. And yes, celebrate this as a win, but know that there is still so much work to do. I want to thank you, Dr. Lawrence and Jiccarra, for joining us this morning. I know that we could go on and on, but we're on the clock. So with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And for those of you who are watching, stay tuned for more on The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Thank you for having me.
Sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me, no, no, no. I know it's hard to be polite, and it's easy being petty. My mama used to tell me, gotta use you when he ready. Man, it's crazy how my brother said it could've been my celly. It's either prison or a grave, that's what everybody tell me. Man, life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down, though I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off you all. Cause loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough. So be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel that disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say, sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me, no, no, no. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me, no. See, it's hard to be polite, it's easy being petty. Mama used to tell me, gotta use you when he ready. Cause I ain't working on my own timing. Ain't got no diamonds on me, but I stay shining, yeah, yeah. They say the world would be a better place if we take out the hate.
Stop all the hate right now.
Yeah. Let's keep it real, it'd be better if we just subtract the fake. Yeah, so be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel that disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say, sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me, no. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me, no, no, no. Really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the match cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you. From the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it out. It's your time. Oh, cheers to all the haters, cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you. From the inside out. It's time to say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth and not care who doesn't like it. I am Benjamin Dixon, one of your three hosts. Today is Friday. It is June 18th, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be joined by Rebecca Azor, and we're also going to be joined by Jamal Green, activist from Chicago, former mayoral candidate. He's going to be joining us to discuss some things that are happening in Chicago, along with things that are happening across the country. Good morning to everyone in all the different chat rooms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Be sure to hit the share, like, and subscribe button. Our DJ Exclusive, he was out yesterday. We let you know yesterday. He wanted us to let you know that he was under the weather. He is still under the weather today, so keep him in your thoughts. Put up some lions in the chat room. Send DJ Exclusive some love in the chat room as we get ready to get started. Thank you to Georgia Fort on the clock with Georgia Fort. It is always it's been a great addition to everything that we're doing here. And the topic that we talked about this morning, it really struck a chord with me, because we're talking about the symbolism of Juneteenth, the symbolism of a holiday, not Juneteenth, but the symbolism of a holiday that happens to be Juneteenth. The commemoration of the end of slavery in this country is a thing. What is the 4th of July to the slave, right? What is the 4th of July to people who didn't get their emancipation until after the Civil War? But I digress. The point is that the day is important, but the holiday is a symbol. It's symbolism. Holiday isn't changing anything for us. The holiday isn't changing any material condition for Black people. But you would think that it was reparations. And this is the thing. We're going to play a clip from Tucker Carlson. Look at how they're acting over a holiday as compared to how they're going to be acting as we come for reparations. Take a look at Tucker Carlson.
Thinks about is radical social change. And this week, she got an assist from the United States Congress. Starting this Saturday, our country is getting a new Independence Day to supplant the old one, which people like Lori Lightfoot complained was racist. Not a single member of either party in the Senate opposed it. Republicans, in fact, co-sponsored the resolution. Happy that my bill to recognize Juneteenth as a national holiday just passed the Senate, wrote John Cornyn, a supposedly conservative senator from Texas. Lori Lightfoot is thrilled by this. Unlike John Cornyn, Lori Lightfoot understands the power of symbols. They're immensely important. That's why we have them. For Flag Day on Monday, a holiday designed to honor the American flag, speaking of symbols, Lori Lightfoot is flying something instead called the Pan-African flag. You're seeing a shot of it on your screen right now. It's now up in City Hall in Chicago. That and the Juneteenth flag. Watch.
The flag that, first of all, let's be sure about something.
Is radical social.
Let's be sure about something. And David, just let me know if there was more. No one's coming to the defense of Lori Lightfoot. She has a lot to answer for in Chicago. But more importantly, the symbolism of Black Lives Matter Avenue doesn't change our conditions in this country. The symbolism of flying flags, while they are important and a good way for people to identify who they with, that doesn't change the material conditions for people in this country, marginalized people in this country. The holiday is cool. Appreciate it. But that doesn't change the material conditions of Black people in this country. And so to have Tucker Carlson speaking to 3.4 million people every single night and sowing this back into the national discourse, this idea that something as innocuous as a holiday is something that they should fight at DEFCON 5. That's okay. That's what we're dealing with. That's the scale and the scope of what we're dealing with. And when it comes to Tucker Carlson and the conservative movement in this country, Fox News, the propaganda machine, and see, here's the other thing. There are 12 Republicans who voted against it. against a holiday that doesn't do anything for anybody except maybe give us a day off. Now, I don't really care so much about the opposition to the holidays so much as the level that this country is at in terms of protecting white supremacy. That's the real gag. The real gag is that this country is at a stage of protecting white supremacy such that it's got to make up stuff for you to be afraid of. The war on Christmas. That's all this is. This is just the war on Christmas 2.0. The war on Christianity. This is all this is, because there's no war on Christianity in this country. The war on liberties, when they have the liberty to do basically whatever the hell they want to do. They make up these things for you to be. I mean, it got so ridiculous in 2021 that they had you arguing over Dr. Seuss. People were literally on social media arguing the merits of Dr. Seuss. Not that Dr. Seuss is anything wrong, but you remember that story. And I can't for the life of me believe the level of ignorance that is necessary to maintain this empire. And now they've got you terrified. Now, here's the thing that they should be terrified of. But Dr. Lawrence on the clock just a few seconds ago said it's foolish for you to try to fight history. It's foolish for you to try to fight knowledge. They should be completely aware of the fact that critical race theory, or the underlying premise, the thing that they're really, because they don't even know what critical race theory is. Okay, let's just be clear about that. We do not know. They do not know, nor do they care to know what critical race theory is. All they know is that it represents something that could push us further towards equality in this country. And that is a problem. That is something that they absolutely fear. And that's something that, considering their mindset, considering what's important to conservatism in this country, white Christian men in this country, according to what's important to them, they should be afraid of critical race theory. They 100% should be afraid of the knowledge of what this country really is, what it really does, and what it really did. They should be afraid because for so many years, they built this country on the idea that America came out of this immaculate conception, that it was born sinless and stainless and spotless, that it was its manifest destiny, that everything that ever happened in the history of the universe led to America. That's the history that they tell you. They tell you that the Pilgrims celebrated with Christopher Columbus. They tell you that it was just that the Native Americans, rather, see, it's in all of us. They tell you that Native Americans appreciated being civilized by white supremacy, by Western civilization. That's what they tell you. That's what they teach. If you look at the history books as they talk about black people, then all you're going to see is basically a passing reference to the problematic history of slavery, and then they're going to skip to 1964, 1965. Because they have had a vested interest in protecting their children from learning the knowledge of this country, the true history of this country. So this clip from Tucker basically is just saying, listen, there is a real threat to white power in this country, and it's knowledge, period, in the conversation. I don't care what you label it, critical race theory. I don't care if you call it the 1619, it's knowledge. Knowledge is a threat to white supremacy in this country. Tucker knows that. So he's got to get you into such a frenzy that you would be afraid of a damn holiday. Dr. Seuss, the war on Christmas. Because if he knows, they know, conservatives know, if they can keep you there where you're afraid of the boogeyman, then they know that they can work you into fear of white replacement. They know that they can make you fear a black future. They know they can make you fear something that, quite honestly, if you depend on white supremacy, you absolutely should be afraid of. And that's knowledge. All right, David, take us to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Rebecca is here. She's going to be joining us, but also Jamal Green. He's going to be jumping into the conversation soon, more likely than not, right after this. Welcome back. Rebecca Azor is in the house. What to do, sis? Oh, wait a minute. That it was way too quiet. It's way too quiet. It means you're on mute.
Okay.
No, there it is. There it is. What's going on?
Nothing much. Trying to get used to this headphone thing.
Do you have them both in your ear?
I have one in my ear.
I'm telling you, you are missing the experience. Everything is meant to be experienced with both ears, with isolation. It's an experience. You got to do it.
I guess
Just put that thing over the other side.
It because it's attached to
Oh,
my
you got it
browser. It's
rigged.
just a lot.
You
Yeah.
got it rigged. You got it
Yeah.
rigged.
Sure.
Well, good. Well, good to have you back. We missed you yesterday. We missed James. We know James is DJ
Yeah.
Exclusive is recovering and doing what he does. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to get this light out the shop, but I'm doing good. Today's Friday, which is a blessing, because I'm tired. When I say I am exhausted, I just want to close my eyes and go to bed. Go to bed, Joe. Where did that come from? Go to bed. Where did that
Joe?
come
from? You got me on that. I know a couple of Joes.
That came from Angela Bassett playing Michael Jackson's mom.
I was gonna say Joe Jackson. That's what I was gonna say. Joe Jackson. Okay.
Go to bed, Joe. Go to bed. And they cut to commercial. But anywho,
who has Angela Bassett not played?
I don't know. She's played
Tina Turner.
She's played a lot of people. She played Coretta Scott King, I believe.
Queen Mother.
Yeah, she's played in that show that everybody likes, the scary little show. She's played everybody.
What scary show is that?
I love wasn't she in that one show? Like the zombie joint for a little bit?
No.
She was.
You're thinking Denia
no, Angela Bassett.
Was in The Walking Dead?
No, it was something else. It probably wasn't
okay,
The Walking Dead.
Okay. So definitely not The Walking Dead. I'm the resident expert on Walking Dead.
Yeah, I don't watch Walking Dead.
Maybe something else. Yeah.
But she has been like everybody's fave. And I know she was in the show 911. I haven't watched that in a while, but she is like, she's just amazing. She plays every role the way she's supposed to. And when at the end of it, when she goes home and she strips those people off of her, she's still her. And nobody can be that, because that lady is that lady. She don't eat this, she don't eat that, she don't eat this, she don't eat that. She meditates for real in real life. And the lady is a dime. That lady is just fly. That lady's fly. She's untouchable. Yeah. But
and she's married to a cool dude.
Yes.
Who doesn't mind playing his role.
Yeah. Then
he just sit back at the cut. Like, he's a star in his own right.
He's an actor as well. Yeah.
He just sit back and just watch his honey shine.
Yeah, he does. And he allows her to. And then, God bless me with something like that as well. Hopefully somebody who's in my same lane but at the same time lets me just shine and be me. That's a blessing, But anywho, I'm excited for Friday. So as soon as I get off of here, I have to, of course, go to work, but I am going to close my eyes for a good 15 minutes. And I think that's going to be such a good blessing.
I hear that.
Oh, and yesterday I went to the mountain again. So yesterday morning, after I picked up my equipment and stuff, I needed to recalibrate my mind, because I was like, why do I have to be here picking up this equipment? You guys are, I was ready to rebel. So I was like, let me just shift my energy before I head back home to start working. I went to the mountain and I saw deer. I saw like falcons. I saw all of that. It was really nice. It was just nice. So
it's nice.
Yeah, next time you got to meet me out there. I got to make a field trip out there and just meet me.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm not going nowhere.
Except for next door.
My wild ass neighbor Jimmy.
Yeah. And outside is outside though.
Yeah, my wild ass neighbor Jimmy. Yeah, no, I don't go over there. Like, we still keep the social distance. But the stories that I do that. But I'm not leaving the hood, the neighborhood, and going somewhere. Nah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fine. I'll enjoy outside, and you guys can watch it from the inside.
We'll be looking we'll be like the SpongeBob meme where he's looking out the window. That's me.
Squidward and them just like,
just living your best life out inside.
Yeah, hiking is nice. I don't think I'll get COVID from hiking, but it's just a nice breather or whatever the case may be. But shouts out to DJ X3C. He said he'll come with me, but not for real. But yeah. Oh, there it is. This was probably on, because I went like 3 times recently in the week. So this was probably on Saturday.
Wait, this is in Georgia?
Yeah. Everybody thinks I'm somewhere tropical when I post it, but that's what you call it. Yeah. Is that the only footage of it? I did this whole little thing.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to see that this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that that looks like Costa Rica for a hot second.
Everybody thinks I'm somewhere. I'll send you guys the full video so we can play before we end the show. But it's like it's just so nice. And then you get to the top, but it's like where they want you to see that. And there's because that's Kennesaw Battlefield Mountain. So that's where they fought everybody for land that wasn't theirs. So there's like little tidbits there. So when I run, I just be like looking at the signs like racist. So they just be going and just like this is a lie. And
this is
there's
such a beautiful route full of racism.
Full of racism, talking about this is where our founding fathers. Whose founding fathers? And then there's this area where it says Peachtree Trail, and it talks about who owned it before when it talks about Native Americans owning it before, but then it goes into like how our founding fathers had fought for this land. And it's crazy. Like it is crazy. So I just heard you talking about
Tuckums.
Juneteenth, and Juneteenth or whatever. But my thing with Juneteenth, I don't think we have the day off. I don't think we have the day before or the day after off. We don't. So as far as in corporate, I will charge it. But after that, I just feel like in that same instance, we have this with Juneteenth, but then we have people fighting, to not have our history about Juneteenth in schools. Right. So help it make sense. Like make it make sense for me, please. But anyhow, I don't know if I got the day off. I feel like I should have Friday or Monday off in observance of the holiday. So, the holiday or whatever that we want to, but I should have the day off, and I think I'm going to take it. So Monday, so today's Friday, I'm not taking today off. So Monday will definitely be off.
Cool.
I made that up because I don't know. Look, corporate, if you watch it, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
Cool story, bro. No. Don't see y'all just be saying anything on these internets. You got to know people watching.
I might take today off though. For
who
real.
am I talking? I say anything. We're gonna have to bring J Maul on before his camera go out.
How you gonna 10%? Do you have any extra batteries?
Listen,
J Maul Green, ladies and gentlemen, individuals. How's it going, man?
What's up? Good morning, everybody. Long story, but Ben knows. We had a problem with the cables last time, but I got to dive in on this though, real quick on this Juneteenth stuff, because I know you're taking the day off and everything. This whole Juneteenth holiday is some bull crap, okay? And it is ridiculous to me that Black folks have just stepped over all of the tangibles and think that this is right here, like this what's up. We got a holiday, y'all. And it's just like,
Joe, we did it, Joe.
Right. We did it,
Joe.
We did it. And these other communities, they get bills. They don't even have to march, protest, and get beat and killed. And we can't get no real tangibles. And somebody told me something that was like real dope.
Why would you talk this girl? We did it.
Y'all so wrong.
Get her out of here.
They wrong.
This is Friday. See,
I need the podcast audience to know that they just like the producer just pulled up Kamala Harris out of nowhere, and she's like it was crazy. Go ahead.
Symbolism, y'all.
Symbolism.
They like Black folks that just love. Just give them a holiday. Joe Biden could sign the crime bill and put us in jail for decades. Then when he get in office, just get him the first Black vice president and give them a holiday. I mean, this is ridiculous, and it's sickening to me that Black folks will actually take this when George Floyd is happening and they kneeled on him for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. What do we get? They kneeled in kente cloth. I mean, did we not talk about that before? So it is just insane to me that Black folks love the symbol. Oh my God, look at the picture, y'all. Look at this. Everybody, snap it. Oh my God, this has been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. This is what we've been fighting for. This is what
J-Maul, lead that Mother Ethel alone. Mother Ethel is up there to sign that legislation. Look. No, I'm serious. You're gonna leave Mama alone. You're gonna leave
ancestors
Mother alone.
Was like, get the Not your hand. But listen. I agree with you, J-Mal. I just, we take the day off for July 4th, right? It's like we know how it is. We know how they're not going to give us what we deserve, right?
Yeah.
We don't need the holiday. We really need reparations, right? We need more than a $1,400 stimulus check. That's for everybody. We need to be taken care of. We need bills to pass that protect us. We need a lot of things like that. Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I work in corporate. Y'all out here for free. I need the day off. They give us a day off for white folks that I don't care for, that don't do nothing for us, that had these holidays. So give me my Juneteenth. And it's funny because even though it just has been passed, I doubt they're gonna have us go, give us the day off or whatever the case may be. But I totally agree 100% with what you're saying.
Hey, Becca.
Yeah.
What I'm mad at, though, you can have a day off. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm mad at. Now that it's a federal holiday, all of your corporations, they're going to be making money off black folks. Yeah. And we ain't going to make none off Juneteenth. Walmart going to have Juneteenth shirts. Chase Bank going to have Juneteenth checks. We going to have Juneteenth all over. These corporations going to have Juneteenth everything out. That's the new Black Lives Matter now.
And white folks gonna take the holiday with us. It's gonna be like, no, you need to work.
Get
your ass to the field.
You need to get to the field. We in the house today. Get out there and go work. Okay.
We ain't gonna make no money.
It's true. We're not gonna make $1. They're gonna start no money. No matter how much BET plays these movies on Juneteenth. God. Now, other channels and other networks are gonna start producing movies or playing movies, and they'll get more recognition than BET has for playing the same black movies every weekend or week or whatever, or talking about Juneteenth. We're gonna have the History Channel now doing full documentaries. We're gonna have all of that, and they are gonna benefit. They're gonna capitalize like they do on everything, like they're capitalizing off the LGBTQIA+ community right now as we speak. So this is
but y'all leave Mother alone. Y'all see Mother with the pink hat.
What is
the last thing
that's Al Green. That's Barbara Lee. Now I know Barbara Lee. Wait, Barbara Lee down for the cause.
Is that a mullet in the back of Al Green?
And that is Frederica. That's Frederica Wilson with that super pink.
Miami. What's up? Shout out to Frederica Wilson.
Usher. Look at Usher.
Is that Usher?
Yes, that's Usher.
That's Usher. They had Usher at the signing.
The white man was like, "Hey, Usher, what's up?"
I seen him post.
Is that some? Wait, is that Simone? No.
Is that Stacey Abrams with the twist?
No, that is actually Lauren Underwood. She's a Congress. Wait, no, hold on. That's not Lauren Underwood. But I know Lauren Underwood is there somewhere.
Jim Clyburn,
the Congresswoman.
Clyburn.
I see two Jim Clyburns. I gotta clean my glasses. It looks like
it's a lot happening.
You know what? Hey Ben, I wanna go a little bit deep on this.
Let's do it, bro.
Real quick.
Why would you want to go deep when somebody dropped this? David, you gotta get the time.
Yeah. That's hey, yeah. That's funny. Look, I want to go deep on this real quick. We're celebrating a day. Why are we celebrating Juneteenth? Yeah. Because they say what does this day represent?
It's ostensibly the day we got free.
Let's talk
ostensibly, but it's not. But yeah,
let's talk about what freedom means. We are celebrating the day that we got free from who? Free from whom? Free from the oppressors. And if we are going to be sitting here celebrating a day that we got free from the oppressors, that means that they can always take it back from us, right? They can always take back our freedom if they can give it whenever they feel like it. All right. And at the end of the day, that's why they didn't ask for freedom, they asked for liberty. Right. And what does liberty mean? Without all of the oppression, right? Real freedom. And at the end of the day, man, y'all know freedom ain't free. And we always been technically having the freedom to do what we wanted to do. For example, if it was a slave master in front of us and we had an axe, we had the freedom to go ahead and test that axe on his head. But we decided, because we were mentally enslaved too. You know what I'm saying? We was physically free, but we wasn't mentally free. So we were scared to hit master with this axe. And so, especially because they reading this Bible, and this Bible is telling us that we supposed to obey master. So when I look
that ain't what my Bible tell me, but I dig what you're saying.
That's what they were saying to the slaves, because the slaves couldn't read. So at the end of the day,
break it down, Pastor.
At the end of the day, y'all, I think is utterly disgusting. And Juneteenth, I understand what it represents, and even though we technically wasn't free, if you even when you talk about physical constraints, but really at the end of the day, guys, we need some real tangibles. This is not what we should be fighting for, a holiday. We still got Joe Biden ain't even putting student loan debt in his budget plan. Now he acting like he trying to come back around for it. And who does that affect? Black women, right? When we asking for them to stop police violence or put qualified immunity in the George Floyd Act, what are they saying? They're not trying to give us that. When we are actually talking about real tangibles that can move us forward, reparations, any real tangibles that can move us forward, there's no plan for that. When you're talking about the minor crimes, the drug crimes that Black people are in jail for around this country, Joe Biden don't want to legalize cannabis and unleash a real plan to get folks out of jail. There are no tangibles. And so let's stop with the symbolism. I don't care if they Black and they're at a high level that they've never been before. I don't care if it's a holiday that they say this is the Freedom Day. Like, let's be for real here. What are we doing for our kids? What are our kids? What will they have in the next 20, 30 years that we can say we fought for? A holiday, a paid holiday that you can go work for the white man and get a paid federal holiday off. Please.
Drop mic. Your camera ain't die yet. Listen,
that's a long 10%.
Listen, that's a long 10%, honey. No, I totally agree. I can't even fight you on that. I mean, I want to. Like, I want to be like, well, can we just have this damn holiday and be okay? But I get it. We can't just be okay with that. We can't just accept that. There's so much more that we're fighting for, but they easily just Juneteenth should have been a holiday if they looked at it the way that we looked at it. Although historically, we shouldn't be celebrating that the way it is, but for some people it represents liberation. I mean, they don't see the difference between the two. They just be like, okay, damn, this is my history. When it comes to this is it. I want to celebrate Juneteenth rather than July 4th. I don't want to celebrate a holiday that doesn't include Black folks, doesn't speak about our freedom, doesn't speak about anything. But I do 110% agree with what you're saying.
You know what we should support? What days we should support, Rebecca?
Tell me.
August 21st to the 23rd. Mm-hmm. That was Nat Turner's revolution.
So why I got this Black man on the show on this Friday?
Look, brother, I was with you. I'm still with you. What you think these white folks gonna put? You gonna put this man on the calendar? You gonna get you will get reparations before you get that put on the calendar.
Hey, we gotta go radical, baby. This who the hell made this flag? I mean, who was in the room when they made this Juneteenth flag, man?
The red, black, and green flag.
No, that's not the flag.
That's not the flag.
No, yeah. Pull up.
Well, forgive me.
Flag. We need to get back in the room and do some more designing.
Let me go look this up, because in my mind they always putting up. See, everything I see when I type in Juneteenth is the same. Our Black history colors are black, yellow, green, the Pan-African. Yeah. So
it ain't even them colors in it. It's all.
Nah.
Red,
this is giving
white.
Canadian.
It's like half Canadian, half Haitian.
They wish it was, but
who was in the room?
It should have been. I mean, the Haitian, we understand why it would be Haitian, because we'd be like, okay, now the Haitians, we represent rebellion. We represent, we don't.
Is that what this is though? I mean, it came up with the search.
It doesn't say. I know. The Haiti
flag was supposed to mean something, and I was just like, listen, I don't care
what's the red and blue.
This flag.
Let me go figure it out. as you guys discussed.
Y'all could have
Yeah, get the origin of this flag, because I need to know
who was lined up to vote on this. Because as the new head of the Black delegation of America, this got to go back to a vote.
Yeah,
this is crazy. So I'm getting this. The official Juneteenth flag was red, white, and blue, displaying that all American slaves and their descendants were Americans. However, many in the Black community have adopted the Pan-African flag. You see,
that's Pan-African. That ain't Juneteenth.
No, they say the Juneteenth flag, the official Juneteenth flag with the colors of it were red, white, and blue. But they say a lot of African Americans don't even like pull up this flag. But yeah, where did it come from?
How long has it even been a thing? I've never seen
1997.
Charlie,
1997. This came out of nowhere, because I'm saying, like, if anybody thinks about Juneteenth, don't nobody pull out this flag, and I think we know why. Who the hell brought this up? Who will we trying to please?
Hey, somebody been sneaking. Hey, Jamal, somebody been sneaking by in the Black delegation for a long time without having an answer for this. This has been here since 1997.
97. Hey. And ain't nobody they like, everybody like, what is this?
Okay, so here it goes. In 1997, activist Ben Hype, also known as Boston Ben and the founder of the National Juneteenth Celebration Foundation, created the Juneteenth flag with help from a slew of contributors. Sorry, my Haitian accent. Illustrator Lisa Jean Graff helped refine the design. Illustrator Lisa Jean Graff. Let me see if she's Black. Oh, you guys Google her as I keep reading. Helped refine the design, and in 2000, the flag was first hoisted at the Roxbury Heritage State Park in Boston by Hype. 7 years later, Juneteenth's official date was added to the flag. The flag will be raised in Boston again on Wednesday, June 16th. I think that was recently. Wednesday.
Some garbage.
Yeah. And according to the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, the flag has several important symbols, each representing an important aspect of the holiday. The star. The white star represents Texas, the Lone Star State, where Granger read General Orders Number 3 out loud, which we know that told them that they were free. The burst around the star is inspired by a nova, which is an astronomical event that causes the appearance of a bright new star. On the Juneteenth flag, it represents a new beginning for the African Americans of Galveston, Texas, and throughout the country. The arc represents a new horizon. It promises new opportunities for Black Americans, and the colors, last but not least, the colors. The Juneteenth flag is red, white, and blue, echoing the colors of the American flag to symbolize that all former slaves and their descendants became American citizens under law.
Okay. Well, they got, shout out to Roxbury.
It's not giving what it's supposed to give. I read that expecting that's more powerful though. You see that? You see? Look, that's Black. That's Black. But we see that other one.
You see that? That's that put that fist up.
It feels like it. It feels like, okay, we American, but we're not gonna take on that red, white, and blue.
As much as I love the color blue, taking that blue out and just leaving me with the red and black. Man, that joint right there.
This is nice.
This is my flag right here, but Ben might like that other one, but that's one right here.
That Canadian Haitian flag.
No.
Bring it up.
Ben, when you say that, the disrespect in my
blood, you know what? You don't.
Haitians are allergic to slavery. Haitians,
but look at the design. I feel like they try to summon the spirit of the Haitian.
But did you read? My ancestors definitely didn't fight for what happened. Like they didn't fight for that. Not for this one. When we said this ain't it.
This.
And you're right, Ben. It does echo that, but you would have thought that
they would have more respect. You
would have thought they came up with what you just said. Like if they said the reason why we chose the red and blue the way we did was because we thought of our Haitian ancestors as the first Black republic that went against their slave masters and killed them.
Exactly what I thought.
Yeah, the rebellion. Yeah. It's in our blood. It's what but they didn't go with that. They said what I just read, and that gave me cat.
You read it, okay? And that's what's wild.
That was like a children's book for white kids.
That's what's wild, Rebecca. Yeah. I didn't. When I saw the flag, when I googled it, I'm like, are they summoning the Haitian Revolution in this flag? That's what I felt when I say it. But now I got the Canadian part from you, Jamal, because it does look like a maple leaf in there, like with that star and all that. So I'm like, what is going on?
The other flag is that black flag right there.
Yeah, put the
so damn Black. It is though. It definitely makes me feel
justice.
No peace.
No
Like,
peace.
that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving for sure. I when you look at this flag, just having black in there, period. Like it's just like remove the white and put in black in those spaces.
Oh, they took out the blue. Of course, get rid
It's
of that.
black.
Defund.
It's black. Yeah. So I don't think any black person that celebrates Juneteenth or before they saw that flag and they were like,
I like this.
They were like, no.
That's the one for you, man.
Hey, I'm voting right now. Black delegation.
Yeah.
Look, right now in the comment section right now, I need
tell us which flag.
All black folks. Look, we cannot tap white folks. You cannot tap in.
Where's Ben at? The Boston guy who did this. Where's he at
Ben
now?
Hyde.
Where's Boston Ben
now?
Yeah, Boston Ben.
He gone now. We starting over. Black delegation.
Is he saying? Is he here anymore? Is he in the ancestors yet?
Which flag would you guys support? Would it be the Boston Ben flag that represents which is the original Juneteenth flag, or the flag that black people have been rocking, or the colors that black people have been rocking? So there's going to be this one or that red, white, and blue one. When we say we want to be liberated, we don't want to rock the same colors. We don't want to rock the same. Like we're going to take the design and we're going to flip it, right? And we're going to take that white space, anything white that they said, white was always superior. And we're going to place black there, which they always said was inferior. And we're going to put them in those white spaces. We put black lines and we put black stars. And then we put the colors that represent the Pan-African flag for us, because that means freedom. And that means that's more black than anything here in America for us, for any holiday that we do celebrate, or any design that we have when we talk about black people and their freedom and us being royalty and coming from royalty. So, I feel the way that you feel, J Mal. And even though I'm the first American in my family, I still, when we celebrate that, you got to go?
I said, it got to go.
Oh man,
I thought he was getting up to walk away. I'm like, this boy is giving us too much on this damn Friday.
Flag definitely got to go in a minute, but the flag definitely that flag need to be burned and start over. Who was vote like that's them? Like the white apologists was like literally up in that room, like. Maybe they'll like that one.
No, that's what the name gave me. The name of the woman who was the illustrator. I feel bad for her. I hate that I read her name out loud. Lisa Jean.
You got to read it again.
Lisa Jean.
Never.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna Google her right now.
And Malcolm X saying this flag here. What?
Rebecca, if your suspicion is correct, I don't know what
Is she white?
You better not be right. She better not be white.
I'm pulling up the name and it.
Make sure it's the right one.
Okay, let me go ahead and make sure it's the right one, because
make sure they're a graphic designer.
Okay, maybe
graphic design is my passion.
Because they don't like to put up black folks. So let me see. I'm not.
Oh yeah, the algorithm ain't gonna pull up the first black.
Yeah, it's not gonna pull up black folks.
We're gonna be on page 2
or 3.
Oh man, yeah, I do feel bad for this white pastor who has my name, Benjamin Dixon. He can't. Somebody go searching for his church. And
hopefully he got a black delegation, and he preaches some good stuff.
He out in Wisconsin somewhere, so I don't know. He might be. You never know. But
we'll join his church.
I know every time somebody Google his name, they find it some old socialisms. They find it some well, he'll be all right though.
Ooh, I can't find that lady, but she better not be white.
Let me say this: that flag got to go. It's garbage. That's number one. Number two, let me say, since we did mention the anti-Asian hate bill, I mentioned it.
I was like, who mentioned it?
Because he said he's gonna segue to white.
I cannot.
It was me. I'm me. Yeah, I'm the we.
Okay.
And so, in Detroit, y'all, I got to throw this out.
Oh, yes.
Close to Detroit, man. This Asian man shot this 6-year-old. Okay, yeah. This 6-year-old black boy. This Asian man who tried to hit him with a sledgehammer first. That's what the kid said. Then he went and got his gun and shot him in the arm because he was playing outside. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just
in his own yard. And
yeah, like the kids were outside playing. I guess he was mad they was being noisy, or the kid might have been in his yard, and he shot him. And you think that's been on #1 news on it? No, because they don't want to talk about the Asian hate that is against Black folks. And the reality of the situation is that we've been battling that for many years. Where's our hate bill, anti-hate bill? There are some progressive Asians out there, and we thank you for being allies. But there are also a lot of Asians who do not like Black folks, and this is one of them. And I know plenty of them in these neighborhoods too, and some of these nail shops. But we'll get to that later.
That's why I go to my nail person is actually a Black person.
I had to shut down 2 nail salons in Chicago.
And you proud of that? You got people not getting their nails done, but no.
Asian man was beating on Black women.
Yeah, like, no.
Beating them down the street. I had one Asian man who was like kicking this woman down the street, and her dress was up and everything. Like, you got to be. I went up in there and him. And I said, "You think you got to be crazy? Think you come in our neighborhood that you only pay taxes in? You don't even live in? Think you could come and just physically assault Black women in our neighborhood?" We shut that joint down. Now it's a Black business. As of last week, a Black-owned nail salon moved in. After
come on, somebody!
And that's what we need to be doing all across this country.
Yes, no, I love it.
Is the guy, did the
yeah,
and the 6-year-old, did he survive?
Yes,
the 6-year-old survived and did a great interview and talked about what he did to him.
He's very well spoken. Yeah,
very well spoken. And you got Ollie on the video? Because you can hear him get shot and everything.
This man
your discretion is advised. Trigger warning. A good day, birds chirping.
Yeah.
I think it skipped through.
Where is?
There we go.
Wow.
Is he running as well?
Yeah. Now the kid is running. Ow, ow, ow.
Kids are just out.
He shot me. There he is.
Right. That's
6 years old.
Kids just playing, man.
Just playing outside. You know, I pissed out when I say this. I literally
he was let out on bail the same day.
He was let out on a $10,000 bond, and they had to raise hell out there just to get his bond to be raised to $100,000. I literally wanted to go down there in Michigan and grab this man by the neck. Please let him out of jail. Please, go ahead, let him out of jail. It's disgusting.
This is, and I read about this maybe like a day or two ago, and the fact that it did not make national headlines is because it doesn't agree with their narrative that they're trying to put out now when it comes to Asian hate. I keep saying, when I talk about this, I need to clarify each and every time. When I talk about this is not saying that we should not, you shouldn't hate anyone because of the color of their skin, where they're from, their religion, their nationality. Nothing. No one should be hated because of that. However, we have to talk about, even Asians themselves have discussed, especially when all of the Asian Stop Asian Hate was going around. They were making a whole bunch of TikToks videos themselves talking about, hey, we don't even like Black folks. We don't even like Black folks for real. And we want, so when we talk about this Asian hate and how we're going out in the streets, we need to talk about how Black folks still haven't been getting anything for what they've been fighting for. And let's talk about how we also contribute to that as an Asian community. So a lot of these conversations have been going around, but it just goes to show that they will go for anything else. Even the other people that they don't even like, Americans, they will go and assist them before they will assist us when we are the most oppressed in America. We are literally this baby got shot, and
$10,000 bill.
Let it have been a black person that
shot an
had
Asian kid
that had
or white
let
kid.
me tell you something. It would have been
No
it would have
bomb.
been on everybody's local news.
Mhm.
It would have been in the Twitter search what's trending in your area. And we would have known about this random black man that shot an Asian kid. And the thing is, the baby is 6 years old. He's 6. We're talking about a 6-year-old. 6.
Hey, David, can you pull a 6-year-old interview? Hey, Rebecca, listen. I want to go back to what you just said because I want to push back against it. You talked about how we always got to, you said, well, let me first put this disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame that black folks always got to put out disclaimers. We ain't oppressing nobody, okay? Black folks ain't out here oppressing folks in their neighborhoods and shooting at their kids, and we're not. So we shouldn't have to put no disclaimer because they damn sure ain't put no disclaimer out there when they getting up there and they talking that rhetoric that they talk. Okay, we being real here. This is just reality, and the reality is we're being oppressed, we're being shot, we're being killed, and all we're doing is marching. And it's just disgusting to me. So what happened to this kid was so wrong, and there should be way more outrage. There should be a million folks out there in them streets, you know, like really like voicing how they feel for this kid. This kid, man, I'm talking about well-spoken, just a cute kid, man. Just a cute kid who was just out there playing. And he's like, and he I don't know if you got the interview. I mean,
let me find it.
So cute. He's just like, he's all like, well, he tried to hit me, but then I was too fast for him. And you know, it just he really don't even understand, right, what really just happened to him. And what does it take? What does it take to pull? I don't care. I don't care if this was a black guy. Yep. What does it take to pull a trigger on a child? Man. What kind of person are we dealing with? And what kind of system are we dealing with that is okay with an adult pulling a trigger on a child? Yep. Yep. I got nothing. Disgusting.
I mean, I got nothing either. And I mean, to go back to what you were saying, Jamal, and you know, it's funny because usually, you know, when we talk about, especially on this show, issues or when it comes to race and things like that, we predominantly, you know, come after white folks first. I mean, it is what it is. They at the head of every issue. They're literally the reason for a lot of this stuff. White folks, right? Yep. And they'll teach other people underneath them, and they'll even teach black folks in corporation spaces or whatever to walk in that white supremacy, like officers and things like that. So the reason why I even start with disclaimer, especially on this show, because what they like to do is clip what we say and take it out there and say, well, what about Asians and what about that? She didn't say this, she didn't say that. So that's you know, for me, and you're right. I just shouldn't have to always please people in that sense, but you know, it's for our viewers' safety, for, you know, from thinking that I'm not including them and things like that. But you're right. I got to break out of that mindset. You know, liberation is, you know, little bits and pieces. I'm getting there. I'm getting to where I could be 100% free. But I be low key trying to protect everyone, especially our audiences. Here you go.
Here you go, little man. Back it up just a little. Back it up a little.
Shooting his son Kobe.
He tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
So then what did he do?
Got a gun. Boom. Shot me right here.
It's all on video Saturday afternoon on Candlewood Lane.
Know how mad that made me, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
He's sick.
Pissed.
He's a baby.
I got 2 5-year-olds, y'all.
Yeah.
Man, it was my kid.
He has a lot of resilience. And why, though?
What would they...
Man,
at 6 years old,
what could they say?
We are forced at six, like to have all of this resilience and to be strong and to, you know, naturally, it just comes to us that way. If it was a white person's child that was shot, y'all, it would have been hell raised. It would have been mugshot of whoever did it. It would have been all of that.
Unless it was a white
attempted murder charge.
Unless it was a white person who shot their white child. because they apparently don't care when these white boys.
Yeah, because they don't believe in white on white crime. They say that's
walk
not a
in
thing.
schools and they shoot up the whole school.
They say white on white crime is not a thing. So
but if a black person has shot one of their childs, I said Jay Childs, then it would have been all over the news.
And this is why, you guys, like, it's just really so sad. I don't like to see our babies having to not be able to play outside.
Babies.
Like, I don't understand that they don't understand that this is going to affect him. This has aged him mentally like 20 years. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have to experience this, period. Especially, I don't care when they're saying, in the particular environments that he's in the neighborhoods that he's in, where they're coming from. And this is where the issue to me lies. They're going to try to make excuses for this. I've seen this story, like I said, on social media, making its rounds, but have yet to see it like on CNN. Now wait till it goes really, really viral. Yeah. Wait till they hit the streets. Then it's gonna be the story.
The funny thing about this, Rebecca, is that Asians don't even like living next to black folks. I mean, let's just be honest. They usually got their own neighborhood, their own town. Just like here in Chicago, they got their own Chinatown and their own places where they live up north. They don't like living in our communities. We don't have it. We don't have Asians and black communities in Chicago, and it's like that in other cities at all, right? And so they come and build these businesses, and then they go back go miles away back to their home, and so they don't pay taxes, or they don't send their kids to school with our kids. We don't have it at all here, and so I just know that a lot of them like to stay together. Right. When they come over here, they like to stay within their community. And that's OK. The other communities do it as well. But the reality is that this man was really on this block, very hateful towards people of this color. And he got close enough to be able to show his hate to one of our kids, 6 years old. You know what? I always say, man, they always pick the right ones. I'm telling you. They always pick the right ones, because if he would have picked a father that would have made sure that, it would have been a different situation after that happened, these things would not keep going on. But when you get the justice system get to come on and get involved every time and give him a $10,000 bond, let him out of jail, we always playing this dog and pony show trying to get justice with everybody and never get justice. This is just the regular black way. Do something to black folks, you can get away with it. Police can shoot you 16 times, you get a year in jail. It's always, us fighting for justice. Criminal justice system does not work for us. And until we step up and be like, listen, we are not playing with y'all. I mean, that's going to be the only time we're going to see some real change happening in our cities. But
you got to go, man.
Yeah, I got to go speak at a graduation. I'm
like, you at the door already. You just like, I gotta say this.
8th grade graduation.
Congrats on that
graduation today. So,
do you think?
I appreciate y'all, but we got a lot to talk about, y'all. And if everybody out there, whether you like it or not, we're gonna speak the truth.
And J-Ma gonna come here and then just start pulling out the more blackness. We thought we was radical, and here come J-Ma coming with the mess. And then before you leave, definitely I just wanted to put out there that our Family Matters photo on yesterday was
who sent that photo
of let me tell you something. David, our Family Matters photo on that they put
somebody on my team.
David, did you look at J-Ma? J-Ma's over there like really excited, and I'm in the middle looking like Harriet.
I'm like, I know my assistant didn't send that picture.
Harriet Winslow.
Oh, he was trying to find. See, I'm like, I know my assistant didn't send that picture. I know she wouldn't send that picture. I know it. I'm like, where did this?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Y'all better start sending y'all pictures over.
Carl, I was Harriet.
Messing some payrolls up over here, y'all. Don't do that.
It was J-Ma. Don't and keep paying that woman, but you go enjoy your graduation. Go speak to them right. Don't go tell them kids to go start up no wars
Yes.
in the street.
Tell them to love each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hold hands, and America is
Kumbaya.
great, right? Critical race theory. All
We
right.
got a lot. Hey, you got a lot. Come on. Well, we'll talk about that when you come back. How much we got a lot of our kids. But go ahead. All right. All right.
Appreciate y'all, everybody.
All right, man. Take care.
Have a good one.
Rebecca, I'm lost. What Family Matter vibe? What y'all talking about?
Who is
I'm just laughing.
Who is
I'm
running?
supporting y'all with laughter.
So black. You so damn black. But if you go on, you can pull it up, David. But if you go on Twitter and you grab, I'm the one that said this looks like Family Matters. Ben, just go on my Instagram. I mean my Twitter, and you'll see the most. Not Instagram, my Twitter, and you'll see my most recent post. So anyway. With that being said, it's definitely Friday. Thank you so much, J-Mal, for coming through and shaking things up today. Because I wasn't planning on going.
Whatever happened to predictability?
Exactly.
David, pull it up. David, listen, y'all better start sending y'all, have y'all publicists send us photos. Don't leave it up to our producer.
Nope.
He looked like somewhere between how he looked like Carl Winslow and Steve Urkel at the same time.
Ben, you're Carl Winslow. I literally look like Harriet. I look like Harriet Winslow in this picture.
No, I'm just looking at Jamal. Jamal looked like it's a yearbook photo.
Jamal is giving, he look like he's about to go be a part of the 8th grade class he's gonna go speak to.
Jamal looking like I wish we could have had this while he was here. All right, man. Sorry, we'll say that. David, don't pick any more pictures, David.
It's crazy. Now,
oh man, that's great.
That's it. Y'all,
what happened to predictability?
I don't know all the words, so don't do that to me.
Man, the paper boy.
I
think that's the wrong show, actually.
I feel like I don't know, man.
I'm mixing up my song. They all sound the same.
They do.
From the 80s and 90s. So
they do.
I digress. So what you got, Rebecca?
I really just logged on today. I don't have a thing. I thought J-Ma was going to stay on. And once he gets to talking, we just can't stop him. He's like a he's like a Pringles. Once you pop, you just can't stop. I know. Because
he was in the chat room saying, I got to rap. I got to go. And then he like, going into a whole nother sermon. That's like a preacher.
Like, Rebecca, I'm just gonna have to push back on you on that one. I'm like, okay. And then here goes and there's a story that I need to discuss. Okay, well, and then it's just like that he's funny. I really
one thing I really appreciate about Jamal is that he don't care who doing the killing. He like, y'all gonna stop killing us.
Yes, he's
if it's
unapologetic.
If it's the police killing us, he's out there. If it's quote unquote black on black crime, he's out there. If it's anyone from any community, he's out there. So I salute him for
him to be so young and to be fighting the fight the way that he is. Even this baby that we just seen, this little 6-year-old.
Oh, that boy.
This is like literally going to create. They don't even know what they're going to create from this baby. Like just in the way that he spoke about it. He's 6, guys. He's 6 years old.
What kind of monster can you?
And God forbid that bullet could have pierced any other part of his body. Because when they look at 6-year-old black kids, they look at they being. And I say this. See, I got to practice not making my disclaimers, but I say this because it's true. They being everybody outside of the black race. Look at, and even some people in our own race. Look at little black children as if they're black men, grown men, but then associate them with being thugs for just playing outside. Associate them with being criminals for just playing outside. And who do we see this from most often? Our police officers, our police force. They do the same thing. We know kids to be shot dead from cops watching them play outside. So it gives PTSD for us when we see our babies getting shot. It gives us stress for especially for parents who want their kids to go play outside and enjoy outside, especially during this whole pandemic. That's all you got. And now it's like they're afraid. You're policing your own child. All they can go to is the backyard and the inside. Like, don't be out of my view, or don't go play in the front
Oh,
yard
hell
where
no.
other people might say that's their property, and the ball happened to roll into their yard, and now you're afraid, and now you have to have that talk with your child about, if the ball rolls into the yard, come and get me to go get it. We got to do the extra mile for things that are so small. So yeah, I'm glad that he brought that story up, because I did hear about it, I did read on it, and I did see the interview with the little boy, and I didn't see it anywhere else after that. So that's why it's completely slipped my mind. So thank you so much, Jamal, for bringing that to our attention. And watch, if it does get just like Breonna Taylor, that situation happened and people were fighting about it before, but it didn't get national attention. But until somebody with a big platform had spoke about it, show what was happening there, what happened? What happened? It started growing. Then it became something that was national news. Then it became something that we were fighting for. Then it became, Breonna Taylor's name here and there and there. But as we look today in June 2021, she's no longer mentioned anymore. So they capitalize off of these things. Anyway, what you got, Ben?
We got some clips. Yeah, we can go to some of these clips. There is the correction. I do want to go back and play this clip from Kamala Harris, and the one that we were laughing at, but she made a good correction into the history that I think is noteworthy, because Juneteenth wasn't really the day slavery ended. There were still 250,000 Black people enslaved until December 6th. David, you could look for the clip inside of Georgia's. We played it during On the Clock. But Kamala actually put it straight, put the record straight, and I think it's worthwhile putting the record straight, because we don't need to forget those 250, 250,000 people. That's a lot of people still enslaved for a whole 6 extra months. So while we're celebrating Juneteenth, we got to remember there was still 250,000 people enslaved. And I didn't know that until Dr. Carl Mack, who was here yesterday. I didn't know it until he schooled us on it on Tuesday night on Roland Martin.
Yeah, I watched him and I'm like, dang, get us together. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that was David. You got it. Okay, I thought he was okay. So when you get the clip, we'll play that, because I think it was worthwhile hearing Kamala put that on the official record from the Vice President of the United States. So that was good. In the meantime,
I was gonna say I wanted to watch her say it before I said my comment on that, because I haven't. There we go.
That day was not the end of slavery in America. The truth is, it would be 6 more months before the 13th Amendment was ratified, before enslaved people in the South and the North were free. So as we commemorate the history of Juneteenth, as we did just weeks ago with the history of the Tulsa Race Massacre, we must learn from our history, and we must teach our children our history.
So, Ben, let me say this. You know how when you you're in your Black American Studies class, or you're in your whatever class that you're in, you don't know anything about the subject for real. You don't really care about the subject for real. You have your own opinions on the subject in reality, but because you want to get an A on it, you just take the vital information, you regurgitate it, and you move on from it, and you get your A+. And regardless of what your personal feelings were or whatever, you just did what you had to do for that report. And that's what I feel, because nothing matches when it comes to Kamala Harris. I love that she said what she said. I love hearing her say what she said. But I don't forget that just a month ago, there's no racism in America. And I won't forget that there was an anti-Asian hate bill that was created. And then here you are giving us our history, or another history lesson, which is great, but I would love to see you fight for a bill like the anti-Asian hate bill for us, not just give us something that we could possibly Google or which is we can find during Juneteenth from whatever, because a lot of people now are getting well versed or trying to educate themselves about Juneteenth. But to hear from Kamala Harris doesn't do anything for me. It's almost like just hearing people who say I got Black friends. It's like counterfeit to me. They don't, like I always say, the words hold no weight. But I mean, it was good to see. I guess, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I dig it. I dig what you're saying. But it was, for me, it's not Kamala. It's the fact that the vice president, that office, it's on the record now, the correct date for Juneteenth. So less about her, more about the fact that there were 250,000 Black people still enslaved for an additional 6 months. And I'm grateful that there's enough people out there making enough noise about that, because hell, I didn't know that. I just finding that out, and to me that means that we can't forget those 250,000 people. So shout out to all the different historians who are putting pressure on people to get the history right, because history matters.
It does. But I guess, for me, I know people be like, y'all ain't gonna like the message. Y'all ain't gonna like the message because y'all don't like the messenger. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Because I don't be liking when other folks who believe in other things or say other things. It's just the hypocrisy to me. But you're right. She dropped the gem, and it's nice. But yeah, I really just don't.
You just don't like Kamala. That's cool.
It's not that I don't like her. I really would love to like her. Like, before I even was well versed in who she is, my support was for her because I considered her a Black woman in this space. And this was a few years ago, running on whatever, until you just said, okay, Rebecca, you like her. Get to know her politics. And when I went to get to know her politics, I'm like, wait, this ain't it. This ain't it. But it's not only that. I even wanted her to be in the vice presidency because I thought maybe that she's there. She'll know that she literally has gotten to a place where her voice matters, right? Where a lot of the wrongs that she did, she can say, man, I didn't have it to really walk out of the white supremacist box that they created for me. But now that I'm here at this higher level and you guys really want to hear me, I can actually speak from a minority point of view. A minority being part of being part Indian, and being part Black, and being a woman, and going to the schools that are forgotten about, like an HBCU. I thought that she was going to come and speak from that point of view, and I just feel like the words that she said, and like I said, they only tap her on the shoulder to say these kind of things because she's the Black woman in office right now. She's the Black person in office right now, or minority in office right now. But I just feel like she said what she said. It was like reading from a book. Man, I just love to see real people. That's all I got to say about that. I just love to see real people. I like to hear great facts coming from real people. We didn't know who the hell that was, but I didn't know who the hell that was. Carl Mack, who was on the show yesterday, but I know who he is today. I felt every single word that he said. J-Ma ain't saying nothing new, but we felt exactly every word he said, right? We felt that he really means and feels what he says. You know what I mean? So that's just how I felt. I felt when Kamala said there's no racism in America. America isn't racist. I felt that she meant that. I felt that. But what she was just saying now was just, to me, regurgitating some news. So
yeah, I don't care about Kamala. She's who she. I mean, but I never had any expectation of her to represent Black people. I learned that lesson.
I did a little
bit.
Obama. I did.
I learned that after Obama. I never had any expectation for her to do that because they don't want to hear her. I don't care, or spend much time thinking about what Kamala Harris thinks about. But whatever she thinks about, that ain't what the people who hold her in power care about. They don't want to. The minute she says anything that isn't convenient for the power structure, they get rid of her. That'd be the end of her. She's not in the position of power. She's holding a powerful seat. And she's got to do the same job that Joe Biden got to do, that Barack Obama got to do, that Donald Trump got to do, and that's to facilitate this empire. So I don't think they really care about what I'm confident they don't care about what Kamala actually has to say, regardless of whatever it is she thinks about. I don't spend time thinking about her.
Yeah. Well, So
We got
what you
some
doing
other
for
clips.
Juneteenth?
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm actually getting on the road after this.
Oh
Got to
yeah.
go to speak at an event in Alabama.
Everybody's speaking at an event but me. Well, okay, look, where am I speaking at this weekend? Well, good. It sounds good. Enjoy your Juneteenth weekend. I know you're gonna
Yeah,
make it real black some kind of way. I like to see Black
nice.
Americans do their thing though. I really do. I be ready to go to every barbecue and slide because Haitians be doing it too, but they don't know. They really don't know and understand. So it's funny because I educate like my family on Juneteenth and stuff because they don't know. My parents never heard of it. And that's because they get here and the critical history, right? The ideas that are put into their head are we're all white. We're all white. So, but they knew when it came to the Caribbean, the ideas that were given to them here when they came here about the Caribbean. They're like, that's all a lie. They also like that's a lie. That didn't happen. But it's funny because now I'm teaching them about like Black history and things like that. And when I got to FAM, I had the opportunity to learn things and give it back to them. Because like I said, I'm the first generation American in my family. So, when I push out my big head babies and stuff, they're going to have to know all sides of the spectrum. And they're going to have to know it's going to be blackety black, all black, whatever state you live in, whatever country you live in, whatever Black representation there is going to be you. Black, and more Black. So
what's your guy name from House of Pain? I'm blackety black. I'm black, y'all.
I'm
What's
Black,
the man
y'all.
name?
I forgot his name.
Pain. Something Pain.
It's not Pain in real life.
It's not Pain in real life.
Is it?
I think it is.
Ben, y'all let us know in the comment section. But I
Somebody in
wanted
the
to
comment
also,
section.
but yeah, because I don't feel like searching it up. But I wanted to correct you because they corrected us. It's a rare condition in this day and age. That's what it is.
I knew it was one of them. The same singer.
I feel like you got the newspaper part of it because I think they're both in the same lyric. They both talk about newspapers, right?
Yeah. And they all came on like what they came on the same night, or maybe I don't know. One was Thursday night, one was Friday night.
Design, some
people say
and I'm cheating because I'm reading the lyrics. It's even harder to find.
But there must be some magic
inside like these gentle walls. Cause all I see is a tower of dreams. Real love bursting out of every scene. Days go by. We're gonna fill this up. No, oh my gosh.
Family.
Oh, because there's a whole other, it doesn't play, but there's another verse, actually.
Yeah, no, we don't.
We don't know that part. All we know is the bigger love of the family. Dang, it was longer than that.
Something like that.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. So, yeah, that was it. That was our Family Matters moment. Because Full House, I can't do Full House no more. I can't. I love Full House when I was a kid, and I didn't care about the whiteness or the blackness of it all. I just like the show, right? But I can't because Aunt Becky, and I used to love Aunt Becky because Aunt Becky's name was Rebecca. My name is Rebecca, and people called me Becky, and I just thought it's great to see somebody else name me, whatever. And I thought that her husband was so fine. And so now
Uncle
to
Jesse.
know that, Uncle Jesse. Uncle Jesse was so fine. And now to see that the woman who played Becky is trash. I can't. Ben, that was you in the picture. And this was me on the side.
Audience don't know what you're talking about. The listening audience.
David keeps throwing while we're talking about other things. David keeps throwing up. He keeps throwing. He threw up the
Family Matters.
The Family Matters theme song for us, and we're watching it. Real. And there goes J Mal. Good. And then James is Eddie. The best. Play Full House and it just gives, it's like a gentrified version. Literally, it really is. So,
man, you were telling us a story.
I don't remember it, but I remember back when shows were black. And I just feel
Were
that they were black. Nah, man. I remember Nickelodeon was. Somebody put that it was called. They said it was so black or it was black enough. It was Nickelodeon. Sorry to our audience, but they were and they were saying that in a good way.
Wait a minute.
It was a black person saying it was like, man, well, what a time to be alive. We had all that with majority, which our culture made all that what it was, right? And that I think all that was a good version. Like it was a well done version of what the show was with the Marlon Brothers, who created that one show and had all those sketches and brought in Jim Carrey. What was that called? In Living Color.
In Living
So
Color.
I think it was a perfect, you know how when they remake something nowadays and it sucks, it's like, just let it be what it is. All that came out. Kenan and Kel, man. Kenan and Kel were the experts of all that, like skits and everything. They made blackness just really black. They would not allow any other white character or white comedian on that show to do anything that they did, because they knew that this black had to be black. Like only they could know about black culture, and they brought black culture in every single way. Then Nick came on and Nick did his thing. And it was great to see. And then in all the different shows, I mean, we had Smart Guy, remember, like that was pretty black and it was good. We had Sister, that was pretty black and it was good. We had Cousin Skeeter, that was pretty black and it was good. I absolutely, first of all, they forget about Cousin Skeeter. I don't know why. That's where we were introduced to Megan Good in her older age, where she had a gap and she had long hair and she was brown, like my color brown. I remember those days, man. What happened to them? Because now all the stuff that they do now, they always have to add they have to make it white.
White?
We have to do black shows with white supremacy in them. And in order for us to get our black shows, we got to go to Netflix and get them. And they don't be doing what they're supposed to do, right? I watched the family reunion show just because I want some blackness. And it's not giving Family Matters vibes, but it's good enough. I watched the show that Jamie Foxx did, and it's Dad Stop Embarrassing Me, or it's whatever show. Tried to get through 3 episodes of that show, and I see him catering to white people in it, and I don't like it. I don't like it. That makes it show. And we're talking about the Jamie Foxx. I love Jamie.
How
Foxx.
so? Give me an example of how he would.
In the show, like they have Jamie Foxx in it, and it's not like the Jamie Foxx show. Remember how that was good and black? Remember, now he has like these white characters in it. He has one, I think, is his best friend, who's a police officer. A police officer who's white. And I'm like, do they have to do that? Who are they pleasing right now? And then they had an episode where they were talking about, I believe it was like race or something, and it didn't do what it needed to do. It was like, hey, we are all people, and it didn't give that, hey, they're killing us out here. Try to, that whole thing. But the family reunion one did one about Black Lives Matter, and I think it did a better job at it. I mean, it didn't do the best, but it was showing like, hey, y'all gotta stop killing us. They were showing protests. They were showing how they're going to shut things down. They were showing how they were going to continue to keep the history of Black people in communities that were trying to be gentrified. That's why I like the family reunion show, because it was better. But this show with Jamie Foxx that he's doing, Dad Stop Embarrassing Me, Ben, you got to watch a few episodes and I think you'll see what I'm saying there.
I'm not going to torture myself.
And it's like, it's Jamie Foxx though. You would think that, he would, because if we know him originally, especially from his original work, the Jamie Foxx show, man, like it was funny and it was black.
He's been on too many private jets. That's all. He chilled.
A lot of white women too. I mean, I'm not saying that may be it, because I loved Katie Holmes, who he dated before, but I mean, like, I don't know what it is, and I think it's sometimes what we do naturally. I think even for me, how Jamal just called me out on it. Don't come over here on my show calling me out on nothing. But how he was just saying, like, hey, you don't have to put disclaimers, but it's that thing in me that still wants to protect and let people know, hey, don't be afraid of my blackness. When I'm speaking about my blackness, don't think that I'm not including you. Don't, hey, me speaking about my blackness, doesn't mean that I hate you. Me calling out your race doesn't mean that I hate you. I don't hate you. I just don't like what you guys do to us. But it's true. How many times can I continuously say that? and cater to their feelings and forget my own. So I feel like a lot of times in the shows that are being made, when they're saying that they're going to be good and black, they cater to the other races because they don't want them to feel left out.
Well, that's the thing about it, though. It's like you can put black people in positions, you could put them on a show, but if you don't let them be them, you don't get the benefit of having black people there. You just get the representation. You get the face of Jamie Foxx, but you don't get the soul of Jamie Foxx. You know what I mean? Same thing with Kamala.
Yeah,
you can get the face of a black woman, but are you going to get the soul of a black woman in that position?
I'm learning at the hard way.
Vice president of the United States.
Yeah.
You think they're going to let a black woman be like? You think they're going to let her be a black woman? You think they were going to let Barack Obama be a black man? Psh, you know what they do to us when we really black.
Yeah, they don't allow us. When we're really black, they like shut her up. Shut her up.
This got nothing to do with her complexion. It got nothing to do with Barack Obama being half black. We got light skin. You see that that light skinned baby in that video? That he still got shot.
You seen Carl Mack yesterday? He's pretty black. It ain't got nothing to do with your skin color. There's some people that are passing though that are questionable. But you know,
what's that lady? Dolezal.
Rachel Dolezal. Okay, let's come on now. We got folks that's tanning a little bit too much, and they know they ain't.
Rebecca, it's got everything to do with whether or not they're going to allow their blackness, whether or not the powerful, whether or not this white system would ever allow our blackness to actually be activated in power.
Yeah.
You think they were going to let if Barack Obama was going to come in there and be and actually bring justice for black people, he never would have made president of the United States. No. And if he did make it and he tried, come on. This system, y'all see how they react to our real blackness. So I think it goes all the way down to the artwork. You could have as many black people on your show as you want to. If you are not allowing that person to actually activate their soul into their work, you ain't gonna get nothing. So
she better have been white, Benjamin P. Dixon.
You still searching?
I can't find. So if anybody in the comment section, if you guys do find her, please let us know about that. Because I need to know if they got a white woman illustrator out of all the good black people.
Your suspicion, you're Karen.
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be so wrong. I want to be so wrong. No, I know that it was Ben Haight that made it, David, but the illustrator was not Ben Haight.
Go back to the article. What was her name again?
Her name was, let me go look. Lisa Jean Graff. Lisa Jean
How does
Graff.
she spell Jean?
Jeanne.
Yep. She comes right up.
She come right up good and white. I don't know if that's her though. So I can't say that because people have the same names. So Ben, I don't know. I can't. I will have to do further research on that before I get on Lisa Jean Graff.
Let's say she was. Let's say that it turns out
problematic
that a white person was involved in the design of and expound on why.
We need to go. Why? Because if we're talking about the freedom of black people and we got white folks dipping they little hands where their ancestors was enslaving us, and we we don't. Now this is where we are not inclusive. And when we're talking about our freedom, y'all could support on the sidelines. Like everybody that's watching right now who understands, there is where we're aligned. There is a line where we draw and say you cannot be a part of this. This is ancestral. This is tribal. This you cannot be a part
Design
of.
The flag.
Do not touch it. If it has to talk, if it's talking about our liberation in any way, shape, or form, you will not be credited with designing a flag that represents black freedom. Make it make sense to me. I love the abolitionists. You guys are great. You guys know where you stand, right? Back in the day, we're talking about way back in the day. You guys were assisting us, helping us, but you knew when it came to
she should have turned down that job.
Representation. She should have turned it down. If she was white, I'm saying that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We don't need that. We don't need it. We saw what happened when old girl called for African angels, right? We saw what happened. it's going to be a reverse effect on you. And that's what happened with the flag. If she was white, it was a reverse effect. Black folks saw it and said, oh no, we don't want that. Hey, we don't want no parts of that. That flag didn't do a thing for us. We saw it and we was like, who? No.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know it existed.
Look at us. Look at our reaction to it today. I didn't even know it was a thing either. Because when J Moss said it, what do we say? We're like, I'm thinking the
Juneteenth flag.
Green. Like, because when we see Juneteenth on any network or on channel or on any social media, whatever, when we discuss
we got our own flag.
We're seeing our red, black, and green, and our with the yellows in them, and we're seeing that. But no way, Jose. We've never seen that flag. Jamais de ma vie. We've never seen that flag. We've never seen that original Juneteenth flag. So, oh God, no. I knew it. I didn't want to.
I don't know, man.
Oh no.
That might not be her.
Ben. Y'all just Google it and see what we're talking about. We can't put it on the show because I don't know if it's actual and factual. But I just if that's girl. I told you Karen comes in a lot. They come with the bang, they come with the bob, they come with that piece that they just put to the back and let the rest hang so their hair could be real shaggy. It's a lot. They come in different looks, and this is giving that Karen look. Y'all, if this is the case, we don't even already represent that flag anyway. We don't. It has to be.
I didn't even know it existed. Pull the flag back up on the screen. Pull the flag.
Which flag? The stronger flag one, or the one that's like
no,
questionable.
The one that was gentrified. Put the gentrified flag. There you go.
The Haitian flag gentrified.
They gentrified the Haitian flag.
What? Oh my God! That was no effort put into that, Ben. When we go to pull up the other flag for us, David. When we go to the other flag, we see that, like I said, the white spaces were made black. That is very symbolic. That's very symbolic. Those white places, those white supremacists, we took that out there and we made them black. Look, it's so strong. Just watching it wave in the sunset gives me some kind of chill on my body. I don't know who created that, but whoever did, I know they was black. It gives me like pull up on me.
They hella black.
Yes. It like to take away only the white parts of the flag, man, and make them black.
They Karl Mack black.
Listen, I like that.
Oh man, that's great. Go back to the gentrified one. How you gentrify the Haitian flag?
Ugh, it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then how do you? And it's about freedom, man. It's about freedom. I don't even see that at the parade when I was watching I didn't see that flag. I wish I did so I can know. But they did gentrify it. Ben Haith, I'm sorry. You took it and you stole an idea of freedom that are blue and red that we had to take, because what happened was that the original we were representing the French flag, and when we got our freedom, we ripped out that middle piece. We want no parts of that. We ripped out the middle piece and we blended. That's my ringtone. Yes, it's in Spanish. Because it's a Haitian man singing in Spanish. But we ripped out that middle piece and we said that we're going to merge these two and then put l'union fait la force and whatever in the middle to represent our coat of arms, to represent our freedom. We took that colonized flag and made it our freedom to show our rebellion and our liberation. So whoever thought about this flag, it definitely got the idea from the Haitian flag, Ben. Definitely. So yeah. I feel like I feel like you should let me off early today, Ben, so that I could celebrate Juneteenth.
If all hearts and minds are clear.
Because I ain't got nothing else to say, and my stomach is grumbling, and I still got to work. But I really want to take today. I might take today off just because in observance. I'm going to call HR and see if I can do that.
I'm on this computer here enough. All hearts and minds are clear.
I love y'all.
Tonight. We are having a patron party tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I think James is trying to rest up to make sure that he could do that. We'll keep everyone posted on that. Also tonight, I'll be on TYT with Carl Mack discussing the real history.
Real black. It's gonna be black.
Yeah. It's gonna be black.
Y'all two black folks going to TY Tizzle with it's about to be
And with
they
Dr.
might as well
Rashad
make
Ritchie.
the YT sign Pan-African colors.
Pan-African colors.
And just remove everybody else that's ready to ask y'all questions, because it's just going to be a history lesson. And Ben is about to break down all the good questions, talking to Carl Mack himself.
I'm just going to be the
Everybody
amen
else
corner.
Go sit to the side. It's about to be a
gonna be hella
takeover.
black.
I'm watching it definitely. And what time is that going to be on?
I'm supposed to know. It's this evening. I believe 7 Eastern.
And
we'll keep you posted.
Before we also get out of here, we will be announcing the winners of the the book.
The actually, we could do that. I don't have my list right in front of me, but you will. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to those people who won the book, the first 3 voicemails, and we're going to get the books to you.
Yeah,
simple as that. We'll announce them on Monday. That's on me because nobody else has the password to the voicemail. But me,
look, I just wanted to give it a reminder. I wasn't going to say all that, but
no, everybody knows. Everybody read through that. Yeah, my bad, folks. Yeah, but we got the books. Waiting for the books to come in, and we're going to get them out to you guys. Park Cannon she was dope.
Loved her. I mean, we got look, supposed to go, but we got good people on this damn show. Like, I mean, at the end of it all, you're gonna get a full, healthy week of politics and what's happening, around the world or locally. It just depends on where we are with it. And then you're gonna get a down-to-earth conversation about our day and who we are. And then on Fridays, you don't know what you're gonna get. That's my favorite part of it. That's my favorite part of it, right? So definitely make sure before we get out of here that you are a subscriber. If you can't be a patron, that's okay. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch our content. We're trying to make sure that we can be monetized so that we can stick with you and do this for as long as we want to. Like, I want it to be not the Black TYT, but the same way TYT started and was able to continue on for years and years and years and years and years and years to come. I want that same thing for our network here and with the show, Like It or Not. Like, I want it to be, if possible, something that we can hand down to the next generation of young folks who can take over at some point in time. So look, this is the dream that I have for this. So y'all assist us and help us out. Head on to patreon.com/like it or not. If you are you looking to be a patron, and that helps us. Okay. And if you can't, that's okay too. Head over to our YouTube page. Like it, get those numbers up, watch it, comment, do whatever, share it with a friend, post it on your social media channels, and drive the audience over to that area. So that's all I got. I love you guys. I mean it. Enjoy your Juneteenth. However you're celebrating, send us photos. I would love to post our photos on Monday on how you guys celebrated. Whether you're sitting by the lake, Luke, or whether you're having a good old black barbecue, doing an electric slide, or just sitting around
Wobble,
a table
baby,
meditating.
wobble,
Yeah, the wobble too. Or if you're sitting around the table and meditating over food, and talking about the different foods that came from wherever. Just, I love it. Be black as hell. Look, black as hell. Shouts out to DJ X3C, Bubba.
Shout out to you, Bubba.
Be as black as you possibly can. I mean, you're already black, which is beautiful, and that is your power. But be black without any apologies. Thank you for that message today, J. Mall, Benjamin Dixon. I love you guys. Mean it. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Forever.